Welcome back, brothers and sisters of the Ration Nerd community, the Ration Nerd Nation, the cult of the ration, and just all you goobers that want to spend some time with me, which I really appreciate. So thanks for being here to check out this video. Today we're getting into a South African Special Forces ration. This ought to be pretty awesome, although my last South African ration was kind of a flop. That was the regular South African Army ration. Tape your ass to the wall. I kind of feel like on that ration I got robbed of a lot of key ingredients. I am really hoping that this ration is a whole hell of a lot better than that last South African ration we had. This one is menu number 4. And I was told by the person that I purchased it from, this is a Special Forces ration, or at least a Special Operations ration. This one was produced in December of 2023 and expires in September of 2025. So we're going to crack into this sumbitch. We're going to have a good time with it no matter what. It's morning. I haven't had my coffee. I think I filmed this like 3 times because my brain's not functioning properly. And if you want to help me improve my brain function overall, you know what you could do for me? You could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And because I like you guys and I want to hear what you have to say, talk to me in the chat. It is always good to hear from you guys. So with no more bullshit, let's get into this South African Special Forces ration. At least that's what I'm calling it until I get corrected by somebody. It is not always easy to find information on rations from foreign countries. It's not like they put out a wiki like, you know, South Africa doesn't have a wiki saying, hey, this is what our rations are. They give zero shits whether or not I know what this ration's intended scope or purpose is, but that doesn't matter because we got one anyway. So we're going to break into this thing and see what you get when you are a special operator in South Africa. With surgical precision, no less. Giggle, giggle. Now, let's get in here and see what we got. This is looking more promising than my last episode with South Africa. So this is an accessory kit. We'll get into this in a moment. So there's an accessory kit. And we've got a little pack of tomato sauce. We have a lactose-free shake. That's not coffee. That's not what I was looking for. But hey, everybody likes a good shake now and again. So we have a lactose-free shake. That kind of bugs me. Give me all the lactose, please. For all of you out there that are lactarded, I apologize. And we have some fruit cubes. This is all Ration Tech stuff so far, so hey, Ration Tech can make some good stuff. We have some fruit cubes, and we have an isotonic drink, not too shabby. We'll be drinking, and we have a couple of sterilizing wipes. Clean up your digits, keep your dirty dick beaters off the food, absolutely. So we have some sterilizing wipes to clean ourselves with. Then we have a pack of nut butter, always good. Hopefully peanut, but nut butter. And we have an 80-gram pack of sorghum porridge. That's kind of neat. Sorghum is not a grain that most people even know about, let alone get an 80-gram pack of sorghum porridge. Sorghum is a great option if you're gluten intolerant. So if you're gluten intolerant, maybe you should be looking for a South African ration with some sorghum porridge in there. And then we have some crunchy Oaties. Last time I got peanut butter Oaties. Those are coming in at 100 grams, and my ration table is falling apart because I was just trying to organize things a little bit, and then you know how it always goes. Every time you try to organize something, shit be falling apart. I don't know what's going on here. So we have 100 grams of crunchy Oaties. Then we have a 40-gram package of chicken soup. Not too shabby. We got some soup going on. Not a big soup fan, but hey, we're going to get into it. Then we have one of the mains here, a 400-gram main of tomato beef pasta. That's going to be a belly filler right there. Hopefully that's pretty good. So a big, fat sack of tomato beef pasta with a nice gusset at the bottom so it can stand up when you're eating it. That's not too shabby. Then we have another 400-gram main of biryani chicken, and I'm really looking forward to that. I like me some Indian food, and this is a big, hefty sack of what looks like lunch or dinner to this guy. That is awesome. Another big-ass main. Big-ass mains are always good. And we have another isotonic drink. Being hydrated is good. If you're not hydrating on a regular basis, I highly recommend you take your ass and go drink some water. Then we have another accessory kit. We're going to leave the accessory kits for last. We'll get into him in just a minute. Then we have a Ration Tech brand energy bar peach flavored. That is pretty interesting. That looks like it is 45 grams. Not too bad. Little energy bar that seems and sounds and feels pretty dense. So anyway, where were we? That's what happens when you don't cooperate, you get your ass replaced. So anyway, back to this. And another sanitizing wipe, keeping it sterile. Then we have a pack of super sea candies. Unlike the last South African ration we had, these are in their own bag, keeping them from just like free balling all over the inside of your ration bag, which is completely nice. So those are all contained. It looks like we have 3, maybe 4 different flavors in there. That's pretty awesome. Then we have a pack of chutney, which is weird because it doesn't feel like it's liquid anymore. The container seems like slightly delaminated, and unless this is a powdered chutney, it feels like there's nothing in there. So I'm not really sure. We'll have to crack into this and see what's what. But we do have an itty bitty pack of chutney that doesn't even feel like there's anything in it. Maybe I got a dud. Maybe I got an empty one, or maybe they changed it to a powder. Chutney. I just like saying the word. Then we have 5 packs of Clorette's Original Mint Chewing Gum, 2 pieces per pack. The breath freshener, that's always nice. Nobody needs funky breath when you're out on campaign. And then we have 4 of these bags, which I affectionately nicknamed in my last review, a ghetto condoms. But these apparently are for either sanitizing water or mixing drinks. I call bullshit on both accounts. These are way too thin to do much of anything, especially not be a ghetto condom. But we have 4 ghetto condoms for your whatever pleasure. I'm not really quite sure what the hell you do with these things. I think this is just a waste of material. They could have given you 1 bag and it would have been way better than giving you 4 individual really super thin shitty bags, but that's what you get. And that is everything in the ration bag. Good to go. So let's start checking out these accessories. This looks like your cooking and heating accessory, which is pretty awesome. So we have a pack of Royal brand matches, and those are nice wooden matches. Oh, with some nice dark brown tips. Look at those. They're like chocolate brown. Nice, easy light, good flame, excellent. Then we have 3 packs of Ration Tech branded Esbit fuel tablets. And for that second accessory kit, which I'm really praying, and I'm hoping that there's some coffee in this fucking ration. So what do we have here? We have creamer. We're getting way closer. We've got creamer. That may mean we get coffee. Coffee would be excellent. We have another pack of creamer. Way to go, South Africa. Hell yeah. So in total, we have 6 packs of creamer. That's pretty epic. I like cream in my coffee. You like cream in your coffee. Well, at least I hope you do, because you're not right if you don't. Well, we have 6 packs of creamer, which is awesome. And the ration gods are smiling on the ration nerd today because we have 2 packs of instant coffee blend made by Ration Tech. We will definitely be putting that to the test here really shortly, and I mean really shortly. And we have a Roboys tea bag. That is awesome. Nice little hot tea action going on with your ration. And then we have 3 10-gram packs of sugar, which is going to go excellent with that coffee. I mean, with everything. I mean, with the coffee. So yes, we have 30 grams of sugar to get your diabetes on. Well, my friends, this is everything contained in a 24-hour South African Special Forces ration, coffee included. I'm going to get some breakfast out onto a tray, and I'll be right back. Well, all right, we are back with some breakfast. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Mainly because there's coffee, but what we've decided to have for breakfast, we're going to try these crunchy Oaties with some nut butter. We're absolutely going to wreck all 4 grams of that coffee, so we have a bunch of cream to go with it, and a bunch of sugar, because that should make an epic cup of coffee. We're going to wreck that energy bar. We're going to try this sorghum porridge, and we're even going to get into that lactose-free shake. So let's start things out with making up that coffee. First and absolutely foremost, so let's check out some South African ration coffee. Can you tell I'm happy about the coffee? And that does have a nice little tear notch at the top, but leave it to me to try to start tearing it from the other side of the bag. You'll have to forgive me. I have not been thoroughly coffeeed yet. So there is nothing about this brain that's fully functional at the moment. So let's tear into some of this coffee. Gotta have it, gotta have it. So let's stick this out on the palm of my grubby digits and see what this coffee looks like. So fortunately, that looks like a freeze-dried coffee that's maybe just taken a bit of a beating. It has almost no smell to it, so there's that. That's all right. We're not judging it yet. We're not judging it until we get it in the face. And that's all that coffee out of there. Doesn't look like a whole lot in the bottom of the glass. It has a much more pronounced smell now that all 4 grams of it are in the glass, and I'm really looking forward to some coffee, so I hope this is good. Coffee. God, I love coffee. Did you guys know that I really like coffee? And you know what? For 4 grams of coffee, you'd figure I'd be able to put a whole lot more water in here, but that coffee is looking really light. So I'm just going to stop there because I feel like I'm just going to mess this up if I keep going. You know what else? There are no regular napkins in here, and because I'm not coffeeed yet, I didn't even realize there wasn't a damn utensil. So no utensils, no regular napkins. We have some sterilizing wipes, but that's not going to wipe your ass. It'll certainly wipe your face and help clean up your hands, but what about just a regular napkin for like wiping the old face hole? I guess you don't get one of those, and you also don't get any utensils, which is a real bitch. So you know what time it is. We got to choose a utensil, and I actually got a message asking me what exactly my coffee mug says. Well, my coffee mug says, money can't buy happiness, but it can buy guns, which is pretty much the same thing. That is what my coffee mug says. Do I like this coffee mug? Fuck yeah, I like this coffee mug. This coffee mug is great. Do you think Australia would mind if we borrowed their big-ass, crazy, awesome ration spoon to mix up some coffee? I highly doubt it, and we're going to have to do a lot of other things with it. So before I even cream or sugar this, and I know that's absolute sacrilege, I'm going to get just a little taste and flavor profile of this really light-looking coffee. I'm really happy I decided to put all 4 grams of coffee in here because that almost looks like a cup of tea. Oh, wow. I'm really depressed. That absolutely tastes like nothing. I should have added like 1/3 of the amount of water to that. That is probably about 6 ounces of water, and that pretty much tastes like nothing. So I guess, if nothing else, we can make it taste like cream and sugar, which is exactly what we're going to get into. Let's try 1 pack of creamer first, see what that does. And I was really hoping I would be like, haha, this is nice strong coffee. I'll throw 20 grams of sugar in it and get diabetes just doing breakfast. But apparently not. And these sugar packets didn't really want to tear away from each other too well. So let's just get 10 grams of sugar in there, for God's sake. Depressing me with the bad coffee in the morning. Come on, South Africa. You got to get your game together. You know, I've talked to a couple of ex-South African soldiers that messaged me on the channel when I did the last South African ration, and they were telling me that it's total shenanigans. South Africans love their coffee, and that the ration coffee in previous iterations of the South African ration was actually really good. I feel bad for any South African Special Forces guy that's got to get into this shitty-ass cup of coffee. I think it would almost be better if he just snorted it. Just hot cream and sugar, I guess. We'll get another sip. I am not getting off on the right foot with this ration this morning. Yeah, I mean, that just pretty much tastes like hot cream and sugar. So the rest of this cream, you know what, we'll probably save 1 or 2 to go in the sorghum. We have some more creamers over yonder to add to our tea later, maybe, even though that's not my thing. I'm going to drink some more of it because it's here, and I really need it so I can continue to function throughout the rest of this review. But damn, that's a sad cup of coffee. All right, let's see what this lactose-free shake is bringing to the table. And I don't really see a tear notch on here. That's okay. We have tools. And that smells really sweet and weird all at the same time. If I had to pin a scent down on this stuff, it smells like sweet vanilla cardboard, if that makes any sense. Like if you were to take the smell of wet cardboard and add like a really sweet vanilla scent to it, almost like a vanilla and cardboard scented candle. That's really odd. That's just what it smells like. Doesn't mean that that's what it's going to taste like. Christ, I hope not. And there's no instructions I can find anywhere on this packaging that says how much water to add to it. We're going to start with 200 mils and we'll raise the amount of water from there if it looks too thick or tastes too weird. Same thing with the sorghum porridge. We're just going to mix it up and just eyeball it. Like if it looks good, that's the way we're going to eat it. So let's get some water in this thing. And that's probably way more than 200 mils, but it will be okay. All right, and that smells even more strange now that it's got water in it. It almost has like a perfumey smell. Very odd. Let's get this sorghum rehydrating. Now, this does say it has sugar in it, so hopefully we don't have to add anything to that. And that smells very earthy. It just smells kind of like grains. Not a horrible smell at all. And that's not the most attractive thing, but it does actually remind me of cream of wheat, although it is much more finely ground than cream of wheat, so a little bit finer, almost like you just should have drank the thing. And I have a feeling this is going to need some help, so we're just going to go ahead and either help it out or screw it up with 2 packs of this creamer. We're going to mix that all in there, try to get this nice and creamy. That just looks like a mess waiting to happen, as most things are a mess waiting to happen when you put it in my hands. So let's hydrate this a bit and see what kind of mess we can make. I'm just kind of estimating what kind of water content we're going to need here. I have absolutely no clue how to make or mix a sorghum cereal, but I guess we're going to figure it out together. We're just going to get this powdery mess just all mixed up in the tray here, let it rehydrate. This is not looking great. This literally just looks like I'm a 3-year-old making a mess on his dinner plate. That is very interesting. It's kind of like mixing plaster of Paris or something like that. The sorghum doesn't really seem to want to take the water. Ooh, this is like making a dough, like making dough for breakfast. Oh, that's gonna need more water. That's crazy. I probably should have did this first, but I had coffee on the brain. And then once I did the coffee, I was really interested with the shake. Might as well just leave that on the table. That is really weird. It's like making dough. I'm not really sure, guys. This is just a mess, is really what it is. This is a hot mess. And I have a feeling this would be a bitch to clean out of your mess cup, which I guess you have some sanitizing wipes to help with, but really not much else. So I'm not sure what this is all about. Really reminds me of cream of wheat. And that's sorghum cereal, I suppose, where your spoon just kind of stands up in it. It kind of really reminds me of something that I should be shoving into a pan to bake in the oven, but we shall see. And that energy bar, let's get that bad boy out. That's interesting looking. Has a nice chocolate smell. Has a really odd appearance. Maybe got a little heat stressed or something like that. That's okay. It smells really good though. And those crunchy Oaties, I'm definitely looking forward to cracking into these guys. Those look nice. Nice big old cookies. Love me some cookies. Cookies for breakfast. Yes. Yes, check out that crunchy Oatie cookie. Lots of crumbs going on that thing. That's all right. We don't mind crumbs. It's going to be all over my shirt and in my beard, but we're completely used to that. So I am going to pre-stage a couple of these Oaties with some of this nut butter, and we're definitely going to give this a good mix. Big old healthy stripe of nut butter on there. That's good stuff. And since my spoon is cemented in, I will just use my finger to get a taste of this nut butter on its own. That's absolutely awesome. Loving it. It really just reminds me of peanut butter, if there are other nuts in there other than peanuts. Can't really tell. It mostly tastes like an overly sweet peanut butter, which is not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. And not because I actually like it, but because I need it. Let me get some more of this coffee before we process onto this sorghum bread dough we've made here on the tray. And that coffee was just sad and depressing, so I just figured I'd get it out of the way. Maybe if I'm lucky enough and there's actually some caffeine in there, my lips will start to work properly. So I guess, first and foremost, let's tuck into some of this sorghum cereal. This is a big question mark for me. It is really like a bread dough. That's the appearance and the texture that I'm seeing. Take a look at that. That is a big gloopy spoon of sorghum. So let's just throw some in the face hole and hopefully we're pleasantly surprised by this. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. It's kind of got a bit of viscosity to it, just like you would think, like eating a bread dough. That's exactly, it's warm, it's sweet. We added the creamer to it. It has a bit of a nutty flavor. I can see this filling you up, but unless this is something that you're raised on, not exactly what most people will be looking for breakfast. You know, if you're gluten intolerant, you probably really enjoy this, or maybe it's something that you have on a regular because you're gluten intolerant. This is a very thick, very nutty, nice and sweet. We didn't add any sugar to it, just what was already in the package. We just added the cream, which I think was a nice addition to this. I can't say I hate this, but I certainly don't love it. It's sweet, it's nutty, it's warm, it's gooey. It's kind of like eating bread dough, which is a little bit off-putting. It's really not bad, though. If you grew up eating sorghum cereal like this on a regular basis, I'd have to imagine you'd be pleasantly pleased with this. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm just kind of on the fence about it. Although I could see this absolutely filling you up and stopping you from being hungry, because it's going to stick to your insides. I mean, it's kind of, oh, there we go. Kind of hard to even get it off the spoon, let alone get it out of your guts. This is certainly interesting. I can say I was a little bummed when I didn't get the sack of muesli. The muesli from South Africa was absolutely banging. Love that. I think one of the issues with this sorghum is that it's ground so fine. It's kind of just like mixing flour and water together until you get like a bread dough consistency. If it was ground a little bit more coarsely, it would probably make a much better breakfast cereal. And this is definitely filling up the belly. Maybe I should have put the chutney on this stuff. Well, this sorghum cereal was thick, nutty, creamy, doughy, kind of sweet, kind of odd. Don't hate it. Certainly don't love it. Let's give that milkshake a little stir action. It's had some time to sit. So let's check out this shake and see what flavor we can pull out of this really sweet, perfumey smelling drink over here. Haha, it's banana flavor. And you know, as much as I am not in love with artificial banana flavor, that actually has a really good taste. Most of the time in rations, when I get the shake mix, I always wonder to myself, why not just put another food item in there instead of the damn shake? Because most of the shakes are pretty nasty. Even though I don't like fake banana flavor, that's super sweet. More like a banana and vanilla at the same time. Nice and cold, creamy, sweet. It actually tastes really good. Certainly some maltodextrin in there, giving it that just ever so slightly over-sweet taste. But that's actually completely drinkable. Hats off for that, because getting a shake in a ration that's actually drinkable, I hope you're listening to me, U.S. military, is a really hard thing to do. And to me, kind of a morale killer when you give a guy a bunch of calories he really needs and you stick it in a nasty ass shake that doesn't taste good or tastes like chemicals. This one doesn't taste like either. It tastes like fake banana, so if you like fake banana, you'd be all about it. Nice and sweet, nice and creamy, actually really drinkable. Thumbs up on that. So let's break into one of these Oaties and see what that tastes like by itself. A little bit on the crumbly side. Take a look at that cross section of that Oatie, would you? Those are excellent. Nice and sweet, very mild flavor. I have to say I like the peanut butter ones better, but these are really good, especially considering you get a bunch of nut butter with them to help flavor them. That's pretty awesome. Nice soft oat cookie, mildly sweet, falls apart in your mouth. These are excellent. Absolutely looking forward to trying this with some of that nut butter on there. Oh, that with the peanut butter was absolutely off the hook. That is so good. Those two together, the nut butter and the Oaties, wow. That makes the absolute perfect, like peanut butter oat cookie flavor combination. That's absolutely out of this world. Although the cookies are just a little bit crumbly, they're excellent. These are very yummy cookies. Nice and sweet, nice and soft. With that nut butter, absolutely amazing. And coming in at a whopping 3,465 calories, this is going to be one hell of a meal to put down today. But we're going to keep on it. So let's try this energy bar. This thing is super thick. I'll try to break that apart so you guys can see it. This kind of reminds me of a power bar a little bit, at least the consistency. I hope that's not the case. That interior looks kind of interesting. Take a look at that. Let's get a bite of this and see what we're rocking in the energy bar department. And that energy bar, honestly, is not that great. The interior of it is much like a power bar here in the US. Really chewy. Definitely takes you a while to chew that thing down. It just kind of has a sweet vanilla flavor. All the chocolate on the exterior, you get that flavor for just like a flash of a second, and then it's all gone. And you're just left with this weird, sweet, vanilla, chewy goop that you're chewing on. Kind of a whole lot like a power bar. It definitely will give you some calories and some energy. Probably great to eat when you're on the move, because you certainly need some time to chew this thing up. It's just kind of there. Another item I'm not extremely excited about, but it's not horrible. It just tastes like vanilla. That was really weird. In the process of chewing the other piece of that energy bar up, I burped, which I always edit out because there's no sense in just leaving burps in. But what I did burp up was some really ruckus banana, like fake banana flavor. Oof. The burp action on that banana, not great unless you love the flavor. Personally, I could have done without a banana flavored burp, but that's just me. Well, everybody, that was breakfast. We're off to an interesting start. That coffee sucked ass. They definitely need to do better in the coffee department. Come on, South Africa, get your shit together. That was a horrible cup of coffee. That sorghum cereal, not too bad. Energy bar, Oaties and nut butter, hell yeah, absolutely awesome. And hats off for having a shake that you can actually drink. I'm definitely going to finish up those peanut butter Oaties, but I'm going to have to wait a few hours and then I'll be back with some lunch. Welcome back to lunch, everybody. We're going to be keeping it simple for lunch. We're going to have an isotonic beverage. We're going to check out that chicken soup. And we're also going to have that tomato beef pasta and save the remainder of it for a nice big dinner. It's been about 3.5 or 4 hours since breakfast, and to be fair, that was actually really filling. Something about that sorghum breakfast cereal really filled me up, and I just couldn't even think about eating until now. So let's start out by making up this chicken soup with the lack o' tear notches in this ration. What's going on with that? All right, see what we got going on in the chicken soup department. That smells really yummy. Shouldn't be too hard to put together a half-decent chicken soup. Well, let's get them powdered chickens well hydrated. Look at that, we got some noodles going on in there. Let's give that a quick stir before we just have one big chunk of chicken soup at the bottom. And there's definitely some nice seasonings floating around in there. That's nice and thick too. I wonder if I didn't add enough water? That is really thick. You know what? I'm gonna roll with it. And that has a really powerful chicken aroma that is punching me in the face from back here. In case you weren't aware, to go along with these big gorilla hands, I have big long gorilla arms, and this is about 2 feet plus away from my face, and I can smell that chicken all the way back here. So that should be a nice, powerfully flavored soup, and it is very thick. I'm wondering, I really wish there was more information on the packaging as to how much water you're supposed to add to this stuff. And then this isotonic drink does have listed on it that it's mango flavored, so let's check out some isotonic. There's some weird chunks of like isotonic beverage hanging out in the top of this thing that just won't go away. Yeah, that's interesting. Just kind of stuck to the packaging. Oh yeah. That looks as though it was exposed to some moisture, the way it is clinging to the packaging. It smells like vibrantly of mango, but that whole sticking to the interior of the package thing, well, it worries me kind of a bit. But we're just going to chuck it all in there. Oh, it's all nice and chunky. Oh, yeah. I mean, that'll make you wonder a little bit. It looks like it was pre-moistened somehow. That's a little disturbing. It's okay, though. We've eaten weirder, stranger, and, well, quite frankly, we've eaten nastier things on this channel. And having a little prior experience with the South African isotonic beverages, I definitely put a whole lot of water in there because they tend to run a little on the sweet side. All right, and let's check out this tomato beef pasta, but not before I give you some of the... All right, well now I've proven myself to be a good boiler of things. Let's crack into this tomato beef pasta. That's nice and hot. That's good stuff. Oh, there we go. Right on out. Yes, that actually looks pretty healthy. Look at that. And that is a 400 gram main. Yes, sir. Look at all that. All right, so we actually have a lot going on in here. We have some pretty decent looking hunks of beef floating around in there. Very nice. Corn, carrots, peas. We have these spiral noodles. This very light tomato sauce. There we have like a little hunk of onion. That's really nice. That looks like a piece of green pepper. That's amazing. That's awesome. So, beef, carrots, peas, corn, onions, probably some peppers, a very light tomato sauce, not too bad. That looks pretty epic. Let's just stop babbling about it. Let's get in here and take a big old bite. Let's get a squirrely noodle. Let's get a hunk of beef. Come here, come here, Mr. Carrot, Mr. Peppers. Get some corn in there. There we go. That's a nice, healthy looking bite. Has a little bit of everybody. Has a little bit of everybody chilling out in there. All right. Oh, there we go again. Corn is like abandoning ship. Get back on there. All right. In the face. That's actually really good. It is like a mixture of a beef stew and like a red spaghetti sauce, kind of like 50-50. If you were to take a can of beef stew and mix tomato sauce in and then throw some spiral noodles in there, that's actually really what that tastes like. That's a crazy mix of beef stew flavor and spaghetti sauce, which you wouldn't think would be good. But in this, it just really works. That beef is excellent quality, cooked really well, nice and soft like you would find in a beef stew. Probably was like a pot roast style meat that they put in here, but it's a really, really tasty beef. That's an excellent main dish. Holy shit. The corn still has some crunchiness to it. I know this ration's in date, but being able to get something like corn to stay crunchy in a retort pouch, the noodles aren't overly mushy, and the beef has a great texture, and that flavor is amazing. Really, really nice. I was about to complain that there's no salt and pepper in this ration. To be honest with you, you really don't need it with this. But just for shits and giggles, let's check out this tomato sauce. Let's try some of that all by its lonesome, just to see what we're getting ready to add to this main. It doesn't actually need any seasoning. I just want to use up the components that came in the ration. And quite honestly, that tastes like a slightly sweeter version of American ketchup. Not too bad. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference in this main, because there's not a whole lot of this ketchup here. So we're just going to go ahead and toss it in there just for giggles. And I gotta know what is in this chutney package, because it really feels like there's nothing in there. It's like it's empty. So let's check this out. Okay, well, there's some chutney in there, but it's so little. I tell you what, we'll put it out here on the spoon. The reason why this pack feels empty, because there's almost nothing in it. So we're going to try to squeeze every last little drop of this chutney out here. So that's it. There's nothing else left inside of that little packet. And that is all of the chutney that you get. So we're just going to have it all by itself so I can try to explain it to you. And quite honestly, that's just mildly sweet, fruit flavored with a little bit of salt. Probably wouldn't have made a big difference to this main at all. Just like the tomato sauce, it's really not going to do much, but that's okay. This is an awesome main. It didn't really need any help anyway. We'll grab it with some of this tomato sauce just for fun and get that in ye old face. Really could barely taste it on that bite. That's okay though. This main doesn't need a single thing. Really doesn't need salt, doesn't need pepper. That's an amazing mix of like beef stew and some kind of Italian pasta. That's absolutely awesome. This is really exceptionally amazing. Really great textures and flavors going on in here. This is definitely going to go up there in my top 10 favorite main dishes. This is actually really good, really wholesome. Doesn't taste overly processed. You really couldn't tell this came out of a bag, and that's pretty amazing. It's a shame there's not some kind of crackers or bread that comes with this ration other than the cookies. This would be an epic sauce to like mop up with some shelf-stable bread. I'm still kind of geeking out on the fact that the noodles are still edible and not like completely mushy. I forgot all about that poor chicken soup over there. Such a nice light tomato base. I can't imagine there'd be too many people that wouldn't like this. I want every last little drop. Corn nugget, vegetable hunk. What a quality main. That was really, really excellent. I know I still have chicken soup to get to, but that deserves its own extraordinarily satisfied spoon drop, because that was awesome. So let's get this chicken soup up on. Ooh, that's like chicken jello. Maybe this really needed some more water. Wow, that stuff thickened up like crazy. Let's see if these noodles hydrated. This is going to be an absolute complete mess. That's okay though. I can handle it. And crazy enough, that doesn't need any more water. It's got a really nice chicken bouillon base. Let's see if these noodles are rehydrated. I did not get any noodles in the first bite. Now I put some boiling hot water in there. The noodles haven't completely rehydrated. I'm not sure if I just completely underestimated the amount of water this needs. I don't think so though. If you put too much water in here, the flavor would just start to degrade. It has a really good salty chicken soup flavor. Nice and thick, probably some kind of like cornstarch as thickener in here. It's actually pretty decent for a soup, and I'm not a big soup guy. If this is what you decided to have for lunch, you are not going to be hungry at the end of it. And much to my own amazement, I'm not wearing any of this, at least not yet. Oh, fuck me, I had to say something. God damn it. That's why you don't open your mouth. When you're on a roll, you just keep your mouth shut. You just don't say anything. Because when you do, that's when the spoon doesn't make it to your lips. Part of the contents that were in the spoon pour down your chin, go down your shirt. There is literally a noodle chilling on my shirt right now, looking at me, laughing, calling me an asshole. That's why you don't open your mouth when you're on a roll. You just shut the hell up. You might be saying to yourself, well, Ration Nerd, why do you always wear crappy t-shirts when you do these reviews? It's either like an OD green t-shirt or a black t-shirt. Why are you always wearing crappy t-shirts? Because I'm always spilling shit on them. Because I'm messy. When I sit down at this table, I eat like a fucking animal, and I have no clue how I could explain that to you. It's very rare for me when I sit down at a meal for me to spill shit on myself. But when I sit down here at the ration table, it's like fucking fair game. It's all the times I sat at a restaurant and didn't spill food down the front of myself. I'm getting all that karma back right now. Apparently, I just screwed the pooch somewhere. All right, well, I am getting to the point where I don't know if I can eat any more of that chicken soup. That 400 gram main is kicking my ass right now. So let's try out this mango isotonic beverage, the chunky boy that it was. And that's got a nice mango flavor. The salt content is definitely hidden by the sweetness, which is really nice. Makes it a lot easier to drink when you don't notice the salt content. Even though it was kind of chunky, nothing tastes wrong with it. Not sure if that's just a humidity issue or it wasn't packaged properly. It still turned out to be a good isotonic beverage, not too shabby. And since we're saving the last sweet item for later, we should absolutely crack into some of these. God damn. Why is everything like no tear notches? Everything requires a damn knife. Anyway, so let's crack into some of these super sea candies. All right, so what do we have here? 4 watermelon flavors, 3 orange flavored candies, and 1 strawberry flavor. So let's start out with a watermelon. It's a little on the strange looking side, but that's all right. Let's check it out. That absolutely does not taste like watermelon. After a short period of time, I just kind of chewed it up and it broke up into just essentially sugar. It doesn't taste like watermelon. It doesn't even have like an ascorbic acid vitamin C flavor. I hope there's some vitamin C in there. So let's go for an orange. Let's try one of these orange ones out just for fun. This one looks exactly the same, and the orange is almost the same. It has just a tiny bit of artificial orange flavor, which you think would be really easy to master in a vitamin C candy. It really just tastes like sugar with a tiny bit artificial orange flavoring in it. And since we're just sugar and vitamin C'ing ourselves to death, let's go with that last strawberry vitamin C candy. And that strawberry candy had the most flavor out of all 3 of them. Still tastes like artificial strawberry and still only a mild strawberry flavor. If there is vitamin C in these, like they say there are, which I certainly can't tell, usually easy to tell when something has a lot of ascorbic acid in it, those do not taste like that in any way, shape, or form. The strawberry was certainly the best. So now we can put these to bed for the rest of the review. Let's check out one of these sterilizing wipes while we're on an accessory kick. So I'm not really sure if you're supposed to wet these yourself, although this is obviously dried out quite a bit. There is barely any moisture in this towelette. It is a nice strong towelette, so I guess you could just moisten it with some water and use it. Definitely some kind of alcohol base. It's pretty stinky. Let's open up another one so we can see if we can get a wet one. There we go. This one actually has a little bit of moisture to it. Not much more, but some. Still nice and strong. Whew, definitely an alcohol and chemical base. They did make it with a nice, strong, like poly cloth. This is definitely like some kind of plasticky material. That's okay. I mean, it could just be a little bit more moist. I wouldn't necessarily recommend wiping your ass with this, but in a pinch, any port in the storm, even if it's a little burny, at least you get your butt clean. All right, well, that was lunch. I might try to take a couple more bites of that chicken soup. It is pretty damn good, but that 400 gram main is kicking this ration nerd's ass, and I'll definitely sip on that mango in between reviews. I'll see you guys back here for a kind of late dinner because I have another 400 gram main to put down and a couple of other ration items to get through. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, welcome back, my friends. It is totally dinner time. So we're going to get into the remainder of this ration. We're going to check out that isotonic drink. We're going to have that tea. We're also going to get some fruit cubes, biryani chicken. We're going to maybe have some more vitamin C candies. And we're going to give that gum a little chew. Let's start off at the beginning by making up that isotonic beverage, which this one has some chunks in the top of the bag like the last one. Maybe during the packaging of these, they just had some moisture in the package. I guess that's okay. Maybe they got really hot and some of the sugar melted inside of the package. I'm not 100% sure, but let's check this out. Get them chunky, oh yeah, that's making a mess. Get them chunky bits right on out of there. Oh, come on, Mr. Isotonic Beverage. Play nice with me. Oh, give me all the chunks, all the isotonic chunks, would you? Oh, They're all stuck in the top of the bag. That's just great. And it appears we got orange this time. And let's check out that Rooibos, Rooibos. I'm not exactly sure how to say that. Rooibos, Rooibos, however you want to say it. It's tea, it's in a bag, and oh, it's folded. Okay, so yeah, it's a tea bag. There's no string on it. That's kind of a bummer. It doesn't smell like much, but we'll wait until the hot water gets in there to judge the tea. Get your hot water on. And we're definitely going to just throw 10 grams of sugar in there. Now, these say they're 10 grams of sugar, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you. That's a really big bag, but that's about 4 grams of sugar. That is not 10 grams. The bag says 10, so I realistically think you got about 12 grams of sugar with this ration. It says 10, but that is not 10 grams of sugar. And let's give all this liquid a bit of a swizz. All right, so that biryani chicken was boiled furiously, so that is already nice and hot. So let's check out these fruit cubes. I think I might move them to the adjacent corner so I don't like spooge biryani all over them. That would kind of suck. Wow, those have a really vibrant smell. That's pretty excellent. As you can see, looks like we have some different fruit flavors in here. Maybe peach, maybe mango, maybe lime. Not 100% sure. Maybe lemon. We're just going to have to get some of these in the face, and then we'll give them a try. Let's get this nice hot biryani chicken out on the tray. It's dinner time, and Ration Nerd is hungry. What we have in there. Oh, that smells amazing. It looks like there's rice in there. That is great, though. For a 400-gram main, already having the rice in there, if it's decent, that's excellent. 400 grams is quite a lot of food. So let's get that nice hot main out on the tray. Yes. I know to some people that might not look very attractive, but if you like Indian food and you like rations, to me, that is a damn good looking main. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, hot. I need some gloves. I feel like there was just a little bit more sauce in the bottom waiting for me. Ooh, that pouch is so hot. Good God. Yes, now that is looking right. That is some chicken biryani. So we have some pretty healthy sized pieces of chicken in here. That is all right. There is a good bit of rice in here, not a whole lot, a lot of sauce. I see some carrots, what look like either some very small green onions or maybe hunks of green pepper. Not 100% sure what that is yet. That's definitely a pea. So we have some peas, a little bit of carrot, big chunks of chicken, and swimming in this nice sauce. That is good stuff. I can't wait to get a bite of that. We have a potato going on in there. Yes. That looks good. Yes, absolutely. That looks excellent. First thing we're going to do is we're going to check out that tea, and we're going to check out that isotonic beverage. So come here, Mr. Royboys Robot Tea. Come here. You know, this kind of sucks. I've got to say it. South Africa needs to work on their hot drinks. That coffee this morning sucked. This tea is not great. Very weak. Very lax in the flavor department. It just barely tastes like tea, and I mean ever so barely. We're just going to try to extract some flavor out of it, get some diabetes. We're going to throw this other allegedly 10 grams, which is more like 4 grams of sugar in here. So if nothing else, at least it'll be sweet. Let's try out this orange flavored isotonic beverage. That is looking pretty good. Smells a little bit like orange. Let's get a taste of that. Yeah, I really do like the Ration Tech isotonic beverages. The mango was really good. This orange is also really good. Nice and sweet. Hides the salt content of the isotonic really well. The drink mix being chunky inside the package is very likely due to like a whole lot of heat stress on this ration. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. The mango is yummy. The orange is yummy. So the isotonic beverages are definitely a win. Now let's crack into this chicken biryani. Dinner is absolutely served. So let me grab a big old chunk of this chicken. This has an amazing curry smell from where I'm sitting. That smells great. I'm hoping it tastes as good as it smells. Take a look at that big old chunk of chicken that's in there. Really nice. Let's get that in the face hole and put it to the test. That is absolutely excellent. Just a little bit of heat to it, a tiny little bit of spice. Really excellent. And I know I've said this in some other reviews, but it's absolutely true. This has that generic Indian food flavor that I really love. I might not like real Indian food, but as far as generic, pre-packaged, retort pouch Indian food, I'm absolutely in love with it. This stuff is absolutely great. Nice curry, cumin, turmeric content. It's really good. Really savory, nice salt content. The chicken was really nice and tender, not dry, even for as big of a piece of chicken that was. This is absolutely excellent. I'm going to have a hard time explaining this to you because I just want to stick my face in this tray like a bulldog and just lap it up. But we're going to try to eat it like a human being. Let's get in here for another bite of this chicken biryani. I'm going to get mostly like rice and sauce and some veggies and a potato in there. I actually wish there was some more rice in here to help with the sauce. The sauce is excellent, don't get me wrong. But without some kind of mechanism like bread or a biscuit to sop up the rest of that sauce, just going to have to kind of eat it like soup. If there were more rice in there, it might be a little easier. But they really nailed the flavor. Even with the rice being added to this dish, it does not lack at all for flavor. This is really good. And that heat, as you take more successive bites, you just get a little bit more heat. It's so good. If you're not crazy about spicy food, this probably still wouldn't bother you. Although there's enough of that spice in there just to let you know it's there. A really nice background hint of just a little bit of heat. Builds up as you eat it. Man, this is good. And so far, there's been chicken in every bite, even if it's just a tiny little piece of shredded chicken, a little potato hanging off the side of the spoon. That's good stuff. And there's definitely a mix of chunked chicken breast and dark meat chicken in here. I just got a big old piece of dark meat chicken. That was absolutely the best bite. I wish they would just use like chicken thighs for stuff like this. The fat content and flavor of a chicken thigh is just so much better than chicken breast, in my opinion. But that was an amazing bite with that big old piece of dark meat in there. Maybe it's because I just really like Rations, but something about retort pouch Indian food, it's like one of my favorite retort pouch mains. It's just so banging. It's just super good. Hey, if I ever design a ration, which probably will never happen, but if I ever designed a ration, one of the mains would absolutely be this chicken biryani, and then there would be maybe a 200-gram side of rice to go with it. That would be excellent. Kind of picking some of the chicken chunks out here. So you can see, I've had at least 5 good large bites of chicken, like these 3 pieces I've kind of isolated out here on the tray. And there's even another piece over here. There's quite a bit of chicken in here. They did not skimp on the chicken, which is really nice. So this dish is going to have a great protein content. And not only will it be nourishing, it be 400 grams of food, which is a hell of a decent sized meal to put down. But having a lot of chicken in there, this is just a morale boosting meal. It's really good, really tasty, hot, yummy, full of meat. It's excellent. For me, this is absolutely good mood food right here. That chicken is amazing. So good. The fact that this meal came out of a retort pouch is absolutely amazing. The 2 main dishes in this ration have been really excellent. That tomato and beef pasta, that was kind of more like a tomato beef stew in my opinion. And this chicken biryani are absolutely epic. This main is great. I really do. I just want to put my big face down in the tray and just slurp the rest of that sauce right out of there. Look at that big quality piece of chicken. That's excellent. And that's the last bite. I'm so upset that that's the last bite. That was absolutely some of the best retort pouch Indian food I've had to date. That chicken biryani was an absolute winner. And this is a satisfied spoon drop that comes with a hell yes. And let's try clearing the palate with some of this Roboys tea now that it's had time to steep, and we have about 8 or so grams of sugar in there. It's definitely still a pretty weak tea, much better now that it's had time to steep, and now that we've added the extra sugar, it's acceptable, and it's just that. It's just acceptable. It would kind of be a kick in the teeth if you were really into tea, if I'm being honest. And just for fun, we will extract this tea bag And I know you're not supposed to squeeze them, but I'm squeezing it. I'm trying to get every ounce of flavor out of that bag, and we will try. Even though I'm not into it, I don't really like cream in my tea, but we're gonna try a little bit of this creamer in there just for fun, for all my British friends, and just because that tea is boring as hell. So let's see if we can't bring a little life to it by adding some cream in there. And the tear notch on these things leaves you with the tiniest hole in which to extract your creamer, which was pretty funny. I don't think we're gonna need that much. I don't think we're gonna need a whole lot of creamer, and I'm not trying to fetch all that Indian seasoning off of that spoon at the moment. So we'll just mix this up with a little Russian friend. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. And one more time, we'll give it one last day in court with a little bit of creamer added. And that creamer just really doesn't want to mix up very well. You kind of see it just floating around in there in chunks. That's all good. And honestly, that creamer just kind of took all the tea flavor out of it. It's kind of like the coffee. It just tastes like warm sugar and creamer at this point. Not the greatest, but let's get into these fruit cubes because I have a feeling these are going to be pretty awesome. So let's get 3 or 4 of each color, and I'll go over a quick flavor profile of each one. So check out those little sugar green cubes of goodness in the face. Oh, these are awesome. That sugar layer on the outside is not too thick. It's just like a dusting. Those green ones, I would guess that that's a kiwi flavor. Absolutely amazing. Let's see if we can single out some of the light yellow. I'm thinking maybe that's pineapple. I'm just kind of guessing. But let's get 3 of the light yellow. And I'm going to be honest with you, I couldn't possibly tell you what flavor that was, other than it was just a sweet, generic fruit flavor. Still really awesome. Let's go for the darker yellow, since we only have a few of those floating around in there. Get them in the face and pretend like we know what we're talking about. And again, with the darker yellow, that just has a generic fruit flavor. Absolutely lovely, though. Can't pin down exactly what flavor that's supposed to be. Let's try out what looks like the orange colored ones, just for fun. Check some of those guys out. And the orange, absolutely amazing. Nice, mild orange flavor. A little bit of citrus hint. Super sweet, nice and chewy. These are awesome. There's only a few pinkish colored ones in here, reddish colored ones. We're gonna go for all of them at the same time, see if we can't figure out what the hell flavor that is. And that was totally strawberry. These fruit cubes are absolutely killing it. Nice and sweet, but not overly sweet. Nice and chewy. Definitely something to do with your mouth, but if you had to eat them in a hurry, you could because they're not tough to chew. These fruit cubes are absolutely amazing. You could put these in front of a 3-year-old and get applause, and you could put these in front of a 60-year-old. Everybody's going to love them. And a matter of fact, I'm actually going to sit here off camera and eat these before I even get into the gum because I don't want to screw up the flavor of these because these things are great. I'm just going to throw them all in apparently literally throw them all over the place. I'm just going to throw a bunch of them together and chew them all up. We'll be back for the gum in just a second. And I know I said I was going to wait, but honestly, the crazy fruit flavor you get when you combine a bunch of the different flavors together, if you get one of these rations and you get the fruit cubes, I would recommend trying 1 or 2 of them separately in their own flavor category and then going back and just putting a big handful of all different colors in your face. That's a really cool fruit explosion. And while we are waiting, just in case anybody complains or needs to see what a South African hexamine tablet looks like, we'll open up one of these bad boys. We'll light one of these tablets on fire just because I want you guys to have the full experience. So there you have a nice large round tablet. Pretty awesome. That's a big one. And you get 2 of them in each pack, so you would get 6 total for the ration. That's pretty awesome. And we'll get one of these royal matches. Let's see if we can get it with 1. All right, 1 match did not do it. That's a bummer. Let's try it from the side here, see if we can't get a little bit of that side light action. I don't know. Let's just set the ration table on fire. Look at that. That's a pretty janky match right there. Will that even light? No one knows. Oh, it did. Check that out. So it seems like we kind of have to build a little bit of a fire to get this tablet started. That's kind of crazy, but that is all right. If that doesn't do it, I'm calling it quits on that tablet. Meanwhile, while that's catching on fire, let's check out this Clorette's gum. And I figured I would go hard on freshening up this retort pouch Indian food with the 4 big-ass pieces of Clorette's mint gum to freshen up my face hole. Because after that Indian food, kind of needs a little bit of freshening up. So check out those 4 rather decent-sized chiclets of mint gum. And that gum is pretty excellent. Nice, intense mint flavor. Really good chew. Not hard. Candy coated, which is always nice. That is good stuff right there. Now I got to figure out how to put that Esba tablet out, because that thing is absolutely lit. That Esba tablet would have made a nice hot meal if we would have made any of these in our mess cup, which we didn't, because I'm pretty fond of boiling stuff, and I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing me heat shit up in a mess cup. Maybe you're not. Maybe you want to see it. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Well, guys, that was dinner. It was pretty awesome. Pretty simple. That was the last of the ration components we had left for this lash. Well, guys, that was dinner. This was an awesome experience. I really enjoyed reviewing this ration, and I've been sitting on it for a while. The mains in this ration were absolutely epic. Breakfast, kind of wonky with that sorghum porridge. The Oaties, though, Oaties and nut butter were banging. Mains in this meal, classic, excellent mains. That coffee and the tea, absolutely hurting. South Africa, just do better for your people. Do better for your soldiers. They deserve better than that shitty cup of tea and that really shitty cup of coffee I had this morning. Your people deserve better. Isotonic drinks were great. This certainly was a lot of fun. And you know what's even more fun about it? The fact that you guys came along with me. I really appreciate you being here. So thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd for this 24-hour South African Special Forces ration. This was a hell of a good time. Couple of really great mains, some of the items a little janky, and then some of the other items were absolutely excellent. But if you like what I am doing here on this channel, you know the drill with the like button and the subscribe button and the talking to me in the chat, because that's where it's at. Link to Ration Nerd merchandise is in the description of the video. You kind of have to drill down a little bit to get to the other coffee cups and other. Hit the accessories tabs. That's where the stickers and mouse pads and all that crap is. To those of you that have already purchased Ration Nerd merchandise, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And you guys absolutely know what comes next. At least I hope you do. And if you're new, I'm going to tell you, because if you can find something cooler than this South African 24-hour Special Forces ration to put in your face hole, you absolutely know what to do. Eat 'em up.